We just got a letter.
We just got a letter.
We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. It's just like Hitler.
It's the IRS.
It's the Gestapo. Run!
No.
No. Wouldn't that like kind of?
I don't think they send a letter.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it'd be really funny if like the CIA, FBI, or like any like sort of government intelligence agencies like actually sent you a letter. It's like, hey, we're gonna be at your house in 2 days.
You better straighten the fuck up. Here's the mail that never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail! Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the Double D experience. I was just crying, like, viciously about, like, 5 minutes ago.
Viciously.
Right before I was supposed to start the podcast. And this isn't a podcast, this isn't a podcast where we cry, normally, because we're men. We talk about manly things, and real men don't cry. It's a sign of weakness. It's 1990, whatever. People still believe that. No, real men cry. And I was just crying like a bitch, and let me explain to you why. I asked Dennis before I hit the record button if he watched Blue's Clues when he was a kid, and he said yes. I was just gonna tell him this before, like, we started recording, right? And instead I was just gonna open with some reversed lyrics to an old, like, jazz rock song that I replaced with very phallic lyrics. But instead, I wanted to open it like this because if you don't know what Blue's Clues is, it's a show where, like, is a guy and he owns a dog named Blue and he leaves clues around. It's like a Nick Jr. show where, like, you follow Blue around and you learn about clues and you sing songs. And I loved that show so much as a kid. It was, like, new when I was a child. And the original host was a guy named Steve. And Nick Jr. just decided to fucking post the sappiest little video on there of Steve. He came back. It's like Blue's 25th anniversary of Blue's Clues. And he was talking about when he left. And he's like, how much I was able to accomplish because of me following my dreams and doing that. And it makes me think, even though we haven't spoken for so long, how much we've all accomplished since we, last spoke when we were young. And it just made me think, you know what? Fuck it. I have accomplished a lot. And as somebody who was gotten in my own head a couple of years ago and even, grew up with severe self-esteem issues, that shit made me cry because it's one thing they remind you in therapy is to think about how much you've actually accomplished, and the facts are just right there. And I'm like, wow, I really have accomplished a lot. And so to hear somebody, like, from my very early developmental preschool, like, kindergarten days tell me that, it makes me just think about my life. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And he thanked me for it. And I'm like, I thanked him for it. I'm like, you know what? You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Blue.
Blue is a girl.
I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. Dashed in the rain.
And
I know Blue's a girl. I was referencing Old School, dude. You ever see that movie?
Real quick, even though David had said it before, he basically told me that you're gonna basically call me a bitch. And guys, guess what? David, you're a bitch. No, of course. Like, please. I'm welcome to it, man. I'm welcome to it. It's just literally just hearing that guy from I looked up to so much and watched, like, every day from my early developmental years makes me just think about from when I was in preschool or, like, when I was very young to now, and just how blessed of a life I've had and how much I really have accomplished. It's just, imagine hearing, like your very, very, very young childhood icon, and then you're talking to them again as an adult, and they're just telling you how proud they are of you. You know what I mean? Fuck you, Steve. God damn it. You're making me cry like a bitch on my podcast. and this is not where we cry like bitches on my podcast. This is where we make fun of Nazis and, like, talk about, like, and, like, reference things to Hitler and make dick jokes. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, give me the dick, boy, and fill this hole. I wanna get lost in your cock and balls. And, like, that's what we do on this show.
And instead, you're making me cry about my childhood. I love you, Steve.
So...
I'm done.
So that was basically all of our remaining subscribers just unsubscribing and disliking the video. Thanks, guys, for being a part of this 4-month journey. No.
I've been doing this podcast for like fucking 9 months, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Man. Oh my God.
And you know, I want to thank all our concurrent listeners because we do have some looking at the analytics. So I want to thank you all. You know,
thank you so much.
Satachi, Nick Zoso, all you little people. I see those analytics. I see who listens and where. Y'all can't run.
The 2 women.
We're watching it, dude. Let's go, Remy.
Remy and my girlfriend. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to our podcast. All right, I think that's it for today.
All right, guys. A real quick episode today. We'll catch you guys again next week. Then I guess we'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah, lights off. All right. Now that we've separated the wheat from the chaff,
David, I actually want to ask something.
please.
Do you actually have a central? I guess not a central topic, but like y'all got a like specific thing you want to like kind of talk about today? Because I'm gonna be honest, I got like personally nothing. I don't know, fuck the news, really. Like it's just like I got really nothing to like talk about, you know.
I'm gonna be real, and this is why we created this show. Me neither. Well, that's it for today. Bye. No, I'll talk about this, I guess.
Go ahead.
I guess at least like I'll talk about like how I've been doing lately. I've been doing really great. Been realizing a lot of like my intuition about old scenarios I used to be in, or old situations I used to be in, as well as new ones is right. So I'm never gonna not listen to my gut again, I should say. And one thing I've been doing a lot is that I've actually been staying really late at work as of late. I usually work 10 to 4. You know, I told you this earlier on my days, but the last couple of days I've been staying very late, like up till 10, not even working, just hanging out, like with my coworkers. Because, and I'm pretty sure anyone can relate to this, anybody who's worked like a retail job, even fast food or anything. I'm sure a lot of you fucking hated your coworkers. I had some, like, back when I used to work at this burger place that I absolutely despised. They were either incompetent, ratchet, or both. Or they were, like, just halfway through halfway houses. One tried to get me to purchase her a cell phone so she could buy drugs. I did not purchase that cell phone.
Good man.
Like that's a little. Look, I know like this is about a couple of years before Among Us hit the big time, but you're acting kind of sus, bitch. Just saying, you know what I mean? You're
not even just sus, but like real ghetto. Yeah, like overtly ghetto.
I also had another coworker who like was just fucking absolutely garbage, but the manager kept her on because he was trying to fuck her. And yeah, it was also really bad. My boss was great, but like the coworkers were buns. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to some absolutely shiitake mushroom shit tier, you know, coworkers that you've had. But mine at my current job are fucking awesome. I love them.
That's great.
I've just
good.
I've been literally I didn't even realize how quickly the time was flying by. I was just hanging out with them for like 6 hours, just vibing. Straight up just vibing with them, you know, just watching the day go by, you know, like while they're working, dealing with the crustomers, as, you know, they call them down at the Krusty Krab. But yeah, it's just been, I just want to ask, I'll ask you, Dennis, I'm sure you've worked some menial jobs in your life.
Yeah, Staples was one of them, yeah, and Amazon warehouses.
Yeah, that's
always fun.
Peeing in a cup.
Peeing on the floor, not even on a cup. Or in a cup.
They don't even give you a cup anymore. Man, fuck you, Bezos.
I don't know, like I don't know why my brain went to this, but did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
I've seen like bits and pieces of it, yeah.
Have you seen the memes of where Saul drinks his piss?
No.
Oh, okay, so I guess you're not caught up yet. You're not caught up yet. Oh yeah, well there's a scene where he basically drinks his piss, and like on that
Okay.
cup that he drinks from is the company that he basically tried to fuck over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like it's got some delicious irony like of him drinking that piss from that cup, from that particular cup. And I'm like I don't know why, but I just imagine myself in that very same scenario, drinking from an Amazon fucking water tin or something, and like drinking my piss out of it.
All Bear Grylls-esque and...
No, yeah, basically he like it wasn't like a, it was like a big gulp of piss.
a big old just glug like Girardi.
You lost me there.
Do you know what Girardi is?
No.
All right. You know TF2, right?
Yes.
Did you ever watch Meet the Sniper?
Yeah.
So you know, like, one of the things he's doing, like, he's just camping out in his little hole.
Oh,
for
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for his targets.
Yeah.
One of the greatest things, and the reason why Team Fortress 2, and honestly, we could even talk about this, is why I think this game still does it better than every class-based first-person shooter, multiplayer first-person shooter that came after it, is not just the fact that the game itself is mechanically fucking incredible. It's because of the game's lore and the game's humor. There's a weapon in that game. It's a jar of piss. You could literally just throw your piss at people in that fucking game, dude, and it makes your attacks do more damage. Like, it's fucking incredible. Another one is a fish. There's a fish. You can literally just beat people to death with a fucking fish, which is also amazing.
Dude, I think I have that one weapon.
The holy mackerel is what it was called. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh man, that was something.
I always forget how just go nuts attitude the creators of TF2 were when it came to like the weapons and even some, I guess, customizable. Well, not customizable, but like the items that you'd get. They're fairly decorative. Like it's just kind of like
yeah,
stupid hats, like really silly shit, and
prove that you're better at the game than other people because you spent extra money on it.
Yeah, exactly. And so in my head, I'm just like, I remember getting so many of those crates, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like, oh, finally, I get to like open them. This is before I realized though that you had to fucking pay to open these fucking crates.
Congratulations, fuckface. You unlocked the opportunity to unlock something. I did it. And in that game's defense, it gives you stuff for free. Like, you do get random drops.
This is true.
Occasionally, and there's a crafting system and whatnot, but still, it definitely came. I mean, just the humor is amazing. Like, the Scout has one item, which I believe are like some type of special track shoes, and they all have their own descriptions, right? It's like the Scout... The scout picked up these Swifty new track shoes to go run on the meet to impress girls over at the high school track. He was later expelled when everybody realized he was 23 years old and also not enrolled in the school.
Oh my god.
Like, the game just has that humor where so many of the new ones are just fucking generic. Like, Overwatch, if you still like that game, first of all, sorry. And second of all, like, the game, and I'm not even saying this just to shit on Overwatch, even though I'm saying it to shit on Overwatch. The game literally did start as a Team Fortress 2 clone. That game was heavily inspired by Team Fortress. Even the creators admitted that. Except it was not treated with the same love and care that game was. Rather, they were busy, reaching up their female game developers' skirts, drunk as hell, over in the Blizzard building, which is why that game fucking sucks cocks and balls now. And I'm really happy.
A second one coming out too, which,
yeah,
I mean,
if you buy that fucking game.
Here's the thing though too, me and my friends, we were like actually kind of excited before all the news started coming out about all the shit going on within the company. Like, I was kind of excited to at least like to get the second game, just because like we were all kind of excited.
Yeah.
But then after this whole news came out, like it wasn't even like we all said it collectively that okay, like we're not gonna be talking about this game. We just never talked about it again after like this whole news came out about the sexual harassment. Like, David, it literally was just, we went from talking about it to like never bringing it up again.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, and I realized it a couple of weeks afterwards, and I'm like, I guess I don't know, like we just can't talk about the game anymore. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a game that like I personally was excited for. It was I was excited for it because like, I'm gonna be playing with my friends, but because that's like kind of how like my main reason for getting certain games nowadays is like outside of strategy games, which like I enjoy on my own time. Like shooters for the most part, like I can't really invest all my time into it just because like if I don't have a reason to play it, which is usually my friends, like I usually don't get the game, period. Like at least this is just for shooters, because again, like I enjoy strategy games on my own, completely fine. But like like even certain, like I even fucking bought Animal Crossing for Switch, and that was just for me. And like I just wanted a game that like I guess wasn't all crazy, shooty, explodey, whatever the fuck. And like I just wanted something quiet to enjoy. Like and I didn't even realize how fun catching a motherfucking fish could possibly be in a game.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, like literally holy mackerel. Like and I gotta say too, like I guess we'll just this is gonna be like for me like maybe a bit of like we're gonna go into a bit of a gaming like our opinions I guess on certain topics of it. But
boy, Steve, hold me now.
I have to admit though, like a lot of times when I play games, like it, like I can't get into competitive games like after, like let's say after work or even coming in after like I just finished from the gym. Like I just want to just chill and fucking not be like smashing buttons like after I get out of the shower. Like and I don't know if it's also like an age thing, because like back in the day, like I used to play Halo, COD, like all those big titles that we all know about, like from the 2010s and even before that. Like back in the day, like when I came back home, it's like, I want to play Halo, I want to shoot something. But now it's like I get back home and I'm like, I want to like tend my flowers and shit. Like I don't know, like it's so weird. Like I guess as the years go by, like you just kind of calm down a bit when it comes to like needing like an outlet, and the outlet being like it could be very violent video games. Nowadays for me it's just kind of like, hey, like I'm fine with just like growing this tree, like catching these fish, planting these flowers. Like,
it's a Zen garden.
Yeah,
Denise, my love, because it's like you're experiencing the real world now. So more than anything else, you want an escape from that. The real world has its own competitions and its own things that make you sweat over. When you come home, you don't want to sweat anymore. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to like fight for something to play a video game, to enjoy it, like fucking SpongeBob's Sweet Victory. The winner takes all. Like I get it. I get not wanting to do that. When you get home, you kind of just want to relax. And the thing is, when it comes to competitive gaming, it's not always relaxing. Sometimes like you gotta sweat to be able to like beat people the way
I'd
you
even argue
it
it never is nowadays.
It's not supposed to be.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like playing League or Overwatch or even like any other sort of competitive game / shooter,
seems to
whatever.
be every video game nowadays. I can't wait until they try to make fucking Animal Crossing an esport. Like, who could catch the fish the fastest? And Dennis here, look at that concentration from Megleman. He is the greatest holy mackerel Animal Crossing fisher in the world and has clocked over 7,000 hours into Animal Crossing. What's the fucking Switch one called? Island whatever penis.
New Horizon.
He's gonna have a really hard time going up against him. It's like I feel like some games that become esports shouldn't, like Fall Guys, really?
That was an esport?
Yes, it was, until people stopped playing it again. It's like nobody ever realizes these games become a fucking trend. That new dodgeball game that came out for the Switch that everybody's
Knockout
talking about
City.
hosting. Knockout City. How many? I mean, I'm sure it has a dedicated scene, but is it nearly as big as it was when it came out? No. Like some games like Smash have that like crazy longevity because of its legacy and how popular it is in other shooters. But yeah, but going on with what you were saying, yeah, sometimes you want to just get home and you want to just relax. Like I have not entered a Smash tournament in well over a year and a half, and I am 10 times happier of a person for it.
Good.
Because several reasons. Not just because I have my complaints about the community and that there's certain people that I don't want to or I'm not ready to see yet or I'm tired of the drama, blah blah blah. It's also because the competition is draining, not just on my spirit but my wallet. Didn't realize how much money I spent on it in 2019. And realized it was just holding me back more than anything else. And it's kind of how I feel sometimes about Smash commentary, though I haven't formally quit Smash commentary yet, and don't even know if I'm going to, if I can find a way to balance it into my life. You guys know I'm like working on voice work right now. I have my day job now that I really like. I'm taking improv classes now and all that kind of stuff. I'm just sort of smoothing out, moving on to the next phase of my life, and I don't know if there's really a room for Smash commentary for that yet. But point is, it's like I stopped doing that because of money and because I realized if I wanted to, like, if I really, when I was going to tournaments, I was pretty much only losing to the ranked players. Like, so, like, I was really getting to that point where, I mean, I was at the point where I knew if I wanted to start beating these guys, it was time for me to actually legit serious practice again, like I used to. And, like, I'll play the game for God knows how many hours a day, spend all my free time on it, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. I didn't want to fucking do that. That's pretty much it. I just didn't want to fucking do that. I'm like, this is not fun. And I don't want to spend all my free time doing this because I don't want to wake up and be, like, fucking well over my 30s and still in the same space I am in my life. You know what I mean? I'll go back to it maybe one day, but, like you said, Dennis, after coming home from a long day, it's like, I just want to, play a little Mario Kart on my Super Nintendo, on my SNES Mini, because I just had the sudden urge after I watched a video to play the original Super Mario Kart. Just play Smash with friends for fun and whatnot. Serious competition, yeah, you can get so much out of that if it feels like a certain void in your life that you need. But I also realized I'm just not a competitor. I like when I lose, it like I noticed that when I was winning, I didn't care, and when I was losing, I just got really, 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 really mad. Not the kind of mad where it's just like, oh, I'll get you next time and I'll work to be better. And like, I'm happy that I lost because I was learning like I used to. No, when I lost, I just got mad. And it made no sense to compete in a game that I never practiced or cared to improve in. It just made no sense anymore, which is why I stopped doing it. So I'm all in your boat, man. I think part of it is that, we're actually adults now and not fucking man-children that just don't seemingly have any other responsibilities in their life or, frankly, refuse to grow up. Not that there's anything wrong with playing competitive games or competitive Smash or anything like that. Like, you're totally cool if you do that and you have your hobby, but just remember there's more to life than it, please. Just please remember, don't forget that.
I've definitely, I agree with you on that just because, I mean, it even kind of goes to this one thing I remember hearing where, like, a lot of people who, let's say, are 27 or around 35, like, dudes or girls, whatever, people are kind of, they've been saying, like, oh, like, I've been getting shit from, like, my folks and everyone else that, like, oh, you're still playing video games at 32, and the one thing I always kind of rebuttal with that is that watching mind-numbing television from fucking whatever time you get back home, or even if you just stay home all day, to the very end of the day, is probably the most least productive thing on the face of the planet.
Naked and in Love, that Discovery just announced. It's a bunch of naked people on an island, just like, fucking and shit with all those bum-bum-bum and crazy sound effects on reality show. You tell me my brain is tinier because I play video games and I don't watch that fucking garbage? Come on.
Thing is, though, I will even argue that, or even I guess agree that if you do go crazy with like playing video games and it going crazy as in like playing it nonstop, like legit Nintenditis, and like you're not even actually getting up to go to the bathroom, like that type of like addicted, then you do have a problem. Like, that's not an argument like that's a fact.
It's classified as an addiction from, I think, the FDA now, or whatever organization did that. I think it was during Trump's presidency that they officially declared like video game addiction and a diagnosable disorder. That happened like about a year or two ago, I think.
Where do you stand on that? Do you think it could, if like obviously if it goes too far for a person, like then yeah, it could just become an addiction.
You can be addicted to anything. To absolutely anything. So if there's something about video games that makes it different, then yeah, sure, up on there. But even things that people claim like can't be addictive, like, you know, weed, for instance, you can be addicted to, not in the traditional sense as in physically, like you feel like, oh god, I need it in my veins, and like you like put the weed in a syringe and
like
you
a chemical
it into your
dependency,
bloodstream.
like
Not a chemical dependency.
Yeah.
Weed is very mentally addictive depending on the person. For most people, I do not think that's the case. But I think there are some people, and I've even had friends open up to me about it, that they feel like they couldn't stop smoking weed if they tried, and like they were opening up to me about it, like they were concerned. That's an addiction. I don't care what anyone says. If you're a pot smoker and you get offended hearing what I'm saying right now, then maybe your whole personality shouldn't be getting high. And you shouldn't like take other people like saying anything critical about weed as an insult to you, because no one with a brain gives a shit if you smoke. It's fucking weed. It's harmless.
Yeah.
But like, you know, just saying that is something else. It's like being a gamer and like being offended by, I guess, video game addiction, if it can be diagnosable. That's a story I could tell you later on about like something my friend tweeted about weed recently that got a lot of people really fucking mad. That's something I guess we could talk about in a bit.
Oh, was it like real controversial? Like
it shouldn't have been. He tweeted something like smoking weed is fine and all, but like some of y'all are really fucking like smelly at events, like please be courteous or whatever. And holy shit, my boy got eviscerated for that. Like every fucking like, you know, like pot smoker like was coming in through and through saying like, oh, like look at Mr. Goody Two Shoes over here. I gotta find the fucking tweet right now. I need to find it. Hold on.
You say coming in through, probably I'm imagining them stumbling through and say, hey man, let me tell you something. But
it's the motherfucking deal.
The thing is though,
Snoop Dogg.
Going off of your friend's, I guess tweet. That's alright. I like that song. I love that song actually. But the one thing I have to talk about, at least to your friend's point, or I don't know, tweet. Weed can smell. It could like it really does like. It's not like cigarette like in cigarette smoke where it does smell worse, but like weed can smell though. Like, and I remember I was hotboxing one time with like a friend of mine like a while back. This was like towards my birthday actually. Yeah, this was like the day before. Yeah, legit like New Year's Eve and everything. And we hotboxed in the car. And I remember like fast forward, I went back home, right? And I took off all my clothes and I threw it in my my hamper. And I was just curious, as like, because I wasn't really actively trying to smell myself the whole night.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me see. Like took my shirt and like legit like just pressed it to my face and like took a whiff, and I'm like,
could you like hear like Snoop's latest album, like
yeah,
when you put like the shirt
in the background,
to your ears? Like take it off, you're like, wait, put it back on.
No, so
it's the mother fucking D-O-double-G. Take it like on and off. Like people were calling him a nerd. They were just like, oh, but like musty butt smell. Like Tammy, no one's forcing you to smell them. Colt, bro, hold the L. This dude literally said this is probably the worst tweet of all time. Literally what this guy said. It's like, dude, never in the fucking tweet, and he said this himself, did he say he was anti-weed. He never said that. And like everybody like took it like so fucking personally. It's like you yourself are literally like out here proving that your whole personality is weed because you're saying that you're so offended by someone not even saying that your whole personality is weed. Like, you're literally just fucking proving his point.
I will even
Half
go
my
on
friends are stoners, bro. I don't fucking judge them for smoking that shit. Even my friend was like trolling me. It's like, oh, David, I hope when I smoke at fests and like tournaments and stuff, it makes you uncomfortable. And he was just fucking with me. And I told him like, dude, I don't think any less of you for doing that. I hope you know that, right? And he's like, no, it's all love. And then we hugged and like made out and stuff. And you know, it got like that. But still, dude.
I will say though, like, I've met 2 people. And I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of them out there. Like, pot smokers are some of the most holier than thou pieces of shits I've ever seen.
Yo,
in my
low
life.
key.
Like,
Low key.
They, like, it really pisses me off. Like, this is, like, why, like, and David, it goes back to, like, how you and I, we both feel, like, if you smoke weed, we don't think any less of you. We don't even think any higher of you. We don't even think any higher of you either. Like, we think the most...
higher.
We literally have, like... Our like thoughts on you are a plateau. There is nothing like weed has nothing to do with how I think of you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, and weed like pot smokers can also become some of the most defensive ass people I've ever met in my life.
Dude,
and especially
104 quote retweets on my man's tweet. He's like, I'll send it to you. Continue. If you want to read through this, it's funny as fuck.
Send that thread. But.
Yeah.
I remember talking to a guy and he was just saying like, oh, like I don't got an addiction. This is how you know when someone has an addiction when they like, I didn't even ask him anything. He said himself to me that, oh, I don't have an addiction. Like I'm not addicted to weed. And I'm like, and I knew this guy. He smoked every single chance he had.
Like more G's than Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, literally.
At the end of his name. And his name does not even end with a G.
Yeah. Like, this guy was using any excuse he could possibly find to smoke pot whenever and wherever. And the thing is, too, again, I know people who have, like, not actually personally, but I know people, like, have, like, legitimate conditions that, like, oh, like, I need to smoke weed, you know, for medicinal reasons, like for actual medical reasons.
Yeah, no, my aunt smokes because she's got like a really, really bad like back thing or like some sort of nerve thing.
And it eases the pain, right?
I forget what it is, yeah, but like she just smokes it out of like a pen, like just like the CBD.
Okay, all right, yeah. And like again, like you know, for David's on and whoever, like thing, if you have like shit like that, like you know, something that really is like painful or whatever, and you smoke weed to like kind of ease the pain, that's fine. I couldn't give less of a shit, but it's like. Here's the thing, though, too. I knew people, as soon as this thing was going to get legal, I knew people were going to jump on it, like real quick, right? And
like more people were going to start, like...
Yeah, like a lot more people, like more than ever. Because, like, oh, it's legalized now. Like, I don't have the threat of going to jail for the rest of my, like, forever in my life because I have weed on my possession. And I absolutely hate the people who... I'm not gonna say give weed a bad name, but like, I don't know. That was like the first thought in my head.
Smoking
but then
the joint, and you're to blame.
Like the other part
of weed a bad name.
Like the other part of my brain was like, nah, bro, that's retarded. Don't say that. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Because like at least the way like my gut feeling is on it is that like talking about primarily the people who have this really weird defensive / like holier than thou complex when it comes to that people talking to them about their weed addiction. And when they clearly say, oh, it's not an addiction, but we all know, like in their surrounding friends, they all know, yeah, you're addicted, bro. But
yeah, like
you are the people that like I really despise like talking to. Here's the thing though too. I've met cigarette smokers that are way less defensive than these guys because
those facts are undeniable.
Like cigarette smokers, like literally, they know what they're smoking, right? And they all know that, like, oh, I have an actual chance of dying, and they do it anyways. It's self-destructive, yeah, sure, but like you know, it's like they get it. But I don't know, like, is it just, like, the lack of, like, you know, risk of skin cancer, lung cancer that, like, pot smokers just feel like, oh, like, I could just, like, smoke however much I want. Like, I don't know. Their attitudes are
it's
because
so
of,
like, the
different.
old stigmas. Because the thing is, you know, like, a black person will like go to jail for a ridiculous amount of time for having like a quarter ounce of pot on him. Like, it is treated like a literal hard drug offense, and it should not be to this day. It's because, I feel like the main reason is because all the stigmas about weed do still exist. That it's this huge gateway drug, you know, that it's really, really, really bad for you. And I'm not saying weed is good for you or bad for you. It's just, I don't think it's a good habit to get into if you like, do it too much.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't let it get out of control.
Like, weed is totally, it's fine. If anything, I think moderating in weed could probably be a little healthy. Depending on who you are and what your personality is like. It really, truly depends on the person. But I think it's because of all those old stigmas about it that still exist. And, you know, the DARE program brainwashing us. Because the DARE program brainwashed the fuck out of me. Like, when I found out my ex-girlfriend smoked when we were together, I was so anxious and uncomfortable around her for a couple of days. And I'm like, it's literally just weed. And the reason I was so uncomfortable with it is not just because of the DARE program. Weed was super omega demonized in my house. Like, in my house. Like, my parents would tell me, like, we will fucking kill you if you do this shit. And I'm like, yes, mommy. And, yeah, like, it's that, like, so it was, like, super demonized, and the brainwashing worked. Like, I saw weed as, like, a very bad thing to the point where I was insanely uncomfortable around it. Now I'm an adult, and I feel like I'd still definitely prefer to be with a woman who doesn't smoke, but it's not a make or break deal unless she's like a stoner. Like if someone's a stoner, then no, I don't want to. You don't get to have the Cuban sandwich. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I think it's because of those stigmas. But at the same time, I think there's also like a self-denial factor in there, like sort of like how like some people would be like with cigarettes and whatnot. Every gamer, and like I do mean this, like almost every fucking gamer, it seems, on Twitter. And I know it's probably not true. They treat weed like it is fucking like God's greatest fucking gift to man. And trust me, my good friend's tweet literally proves that if you say anything even fucking remotely critical about it, you'll get fucking like dogged on, like have people like jump down your throat for it. Again, my boy, 104 quote retweets on this guy. That is how mad this simple little tweet made these fucking people. And it's like, dude, I still cannot believe he tweeted, weed smells bad, and every fucking like Smash player who smokes hard fucking core projected, and took it as, how dare you judge me for my life choices. Like, you dumb fuck, it's literally called dank. Yeah, it fucking smells. It's literally nicknamed the Stinky. Out of its millions of nicknames, that doesn't equate to you are a bad person for smoking weed, and if you took it like that, which hundreds of people did, that's on you. You're the one who's projecting that. Fucking idiot. Like, honest to Christ. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's just, that shit really gets my fucking goat. And again, it's like, it's fucking weed. It's harmless. I get it. But like, at the same time, and like, I understand the stigmas for it all exist and everything. But at the same time, all those people were projecting. Like, he's literally saying that weed smells bad. It's like, and if you feel bad for smoking pot, that's on you. Alright? Like, that's on fucking you. You know what I mean? It's like, just because, like, somebody else says something critical about it and you feel bad about that, doesn't mean they're at fault. Unless they're, like, fucking making fun of you for smoking pot. You're a bad person for doing it, which, again, he didn't say. Which is why I think, you know, one of the many reasons that I think the Smash community is this fucking inbred, you know, Texas, Alabama, fucking retarded as it is. Because they have every single discussion on Twitter, which is the worst public platform for discussion. I can't help but feel the community would be a much more, at least a little bit more of an intelligent place if Twitter was not our hub. But, you know, whatever, that's an entirely different discussion that neither me nor anyone can really fit in these kicks. So, whatever. Smoke your blunt, just don't be an asshole about it, alright? Like, if other people don't like the fucking smell, don't take that as a fucking personal attack on your character. If you do, you are admitting that weed is like half your personality. Like, you know, like Plankton.
Which is pretty fucking sad.
Like, you know, like when Plankton gets put in that thing, and like gets put in like that little, he gets put in Karen, where like they dissect the ingredients.
Oh yeah, it's like
50% weed, 50% weed. It's like, that's all you. It's all you guys, man. I have friends that I describe like that. Trust me, like half my friends are fucking stoners, bro. My close friends, and I love them to death. But saying that weed smells bad doesn't mean I think they're fucking bad people for smoking pot. And if you think anything else, then congratulations. Like, you're the fucking people that Fox News was afraid of. You're the people that Bill Maher still talks about on his fucking show to try to stay relevant, okay? You're the fucking Tumblr at little libtard dumbass motherfuckers who take any sort of criticism on you as a personal attack on your character and needing your little safe space like, bro, I hotbox my PC just because I can. I can see the smoke through the window. And I'm not gonna lie, that would look kind of cool. Would destroy your fucking components. That is a waste of a GPU.
And everything else in there.
And pretty much. But it would look cool. I will fully admit it would at least look pretty cool.
I remember reading up, seeing a post actually one time of like, smoking near your PC can, not like permanently damage it or whatever, but like, you know how like basically dust and shit gathers like real quick on like your filters, and the vents and all that.
Yeah.
Mostly, you know, most of the time, if you don't, or if you're not smoking near your machine, it's mostly just dead skin. It's just fucking dust. It's what it is. But if you smoke often near your PC, not only will that shit like actually like stuff will accumulate more on your vents,
right?
It'll stain it. Plus, it's actually like kind of like really not sticky, but like it's kind of like it gets caked on there. On the vents and everything, and
caked on,
like, fuck you, David. but you know what I mean, like it, and it it's a bit more rough.
Weed, your cum turns green. All right, go on. Feel free to try that experiment with your significant other.
It's like, hey, babe, I'm about to bust, and I just smoked the biggest joint in my life.
Like being high too, don't you want to enjoy the nut? Don't you want to feel it?
I've heard the people. I haven't had
high
sex. I never had high sex, but I have heard from people that it is an experience. So I'm like, all right, like I guess I'll put it on the list.
I mean, I imagine it's probably really nice, but I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. What were you saying? Staining your PC components.
Yes, with cigarette or weed smoke. Like shit. Don't do that. Don't smoke near your PC. Just don't. Me as a techie, just don't do that. Please. I cannot tell you how many times, like, and this is not smoke or like pot smoke or whatever that got into the systems, but I've seen so many fucking machines when I've gone to people's houses where it's like, dude, clean your fucking computer, man. Like, Dustin, will ya? Like, why is that shit so fucking... Why is there so much dust in the fucking vents? Like, why? Can't you just take 20 minutes out of your fucking day to clean your fucking system? That's another thing, too, that, like, kind of really irks me now. Like, whenever I go to people's houses, it's like, if I go to, like, a house that's, like... Or a house or apartment, whatever, that's, like, just dirty, like, from a glance... Like, it makes me want to leave immediately. I don't know what it is nowadays, but it's like my house, I'm not going to say is like the picture perfect fucking example of cleanliness, but at the very least, I could see my fucking floor is what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what it is, but like dirty ass houses just like make me so fucking irrationally angry because it's like David, maybe this is just me getting old, but like even seeing a fucking huge ass pile of dishes in someone's sink, that also makes me angry. And like back in the day, like I didn't really give a fuck, but now it's like now that I'm older, like, you know, like I'm definitely in my brain, like I'm gonna keep a clean house. Like I'm not gonna have like David.
Yeah.
I hope to God that this person never watches this podcast because she's still a great friend of mine.
Okay.
I hope to God she never fucking listens to this, but I literally, I remember going to this person's house, and on their living room floor was a piece of fucking underwear.
Just like, yeah, you the friend.
No, the house was all inherently dirty, but it's just like, just seeing that, yeah, exactly. Seeing that, I was just kind of like, like in my brain, I was like, don't y'all have a hamper? This is not where you toss this shit.
In the living room.
In the living room, mind you. Not even in her room. In the fucking living room.
Now, would somebody be rationally offended if someone said that's fucking nasty, you shouldn't do that? Or is it gonna be like Smash players trying desperately hard to fucking defend themselves for fucking smelling like shit and being ratchet-ass stupid motherfuckers. Is that it?
know.
Or like, is this woman gonna be like, how dare you judge me?
No,
bitch, your fucking underwear is in the middle of the living room.
That's the thing, though. I don't think it was hers, though, but
I
I
have
think...
company. Oh.
No. Listen. Because she has sisters. So, I mean, it probably wasn't hers. I don't know. Because...
Bro, you're fucking triggering the David alarm right now, bro.
Oh, my God. Like, dude, I hate
I feel a
dirty
disturbance
houses.
of the force.
I hate dirty houses.
Got a little bit of Latin in you right there. Us Latin people, we clean houses because it's an anxious thing. My girlfriend's mother was that way. My parents have a cleaning lady. She's, I don't know, it means her job, so I doubt it's fully an anxiety thing. When I'm really, really bored and I have nothing to do, sometimes I tidy up my space a little bit if I'm feeling aimless about work. You sure you don't got a little bit of Latin in you, Dennis?
Nah, East
And if
Asians
so, would you like some?
I'm dating a Latino, so I mean...
Oh, I've never met your girl. I thought she was also of the Korean.
No, she is Peruvian and Salvadorian.
So you do get a little bit of Latin put on you.
Yes, I do. And I love it.
And now you like to clean. Yeah. I will
No,
give
no, it's not that. Dude, I'm being dead serious. Like, East Asians in general, they're the
I've
most...
actually only been with Latin women, so I can't judge otherwise, but Latin women know how to fucking fuck, dude. Like, they're just fucking...
They do.
Ugh.
I'll even admit this. Like, my current girlfriend...
Like, they are more bomb than the bomb that is sitting on top of my PC right now.
Thanks for derailing my whole thought there, you fuck.
It's my job.
Like, when we first met, me and my girlfriend, like, she was way more experienced than I ever was.
Sexually?
And now, I guess I've sort of caught up to her now, and, like, we're both kind of fairly experienced, especially with each other's bodies.
Right.
And now at this point, though, like, going back to, like, even cleanliness, like, David, I'm being dead serious. My family never, ever had their house dirty. Ever. If, like, not to the point where, like, there was clothes on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, we picked that shit up and we put it in the hamper. And, like, my family, we vacuum, like,
what a
almost
concept.
We, like, vacuum every week. Dude, we were getting so sick and tired of, like, actually taking out, because our vacuum in my house currently, like, is a wall vac.
Yes.
So, like, I literally got so sick and tired of bringing that shit out and putting it back in the closet that I literally bought a Roomba so I don't have to fucking do the vacuuming anymore. I spent straight up money so I don't have to do a stupid fucking chore anymore.
Nice.
And dude, I've been to like a couple of people's houses nowadays, and it really bothers me. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know, seeing dirty houses. Like, David, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You could say otherwise, but, like,
I mean,
what are the
it
dirty,
depends on
like,
how filthy it is. But for the
like,
most
dirty
part, yeah.
dirty dishes that have been stacked there for days now at this point. Like, dude, you can't even fucking take 15 minutes out of your day to do the fucking dishes. And, like, I don't know.
Getting it, bro. I don't know what to say. He's fucking
know.
busy getting it. I don't know. I very much love to keep a clean space as well. It just it helps my mind be clearer when I'm not surrounded by clutter. I'm definitely in that same boat as you are. So, yeah, for the most part, I mean, it's literally just a laziness thing, or like you literally don't have the time to do it. In which case, I don't know. You might have to just dedicate some time to a little bit of other things, man.
Ask for David's maid. Like, ask for her, and she'll probably clean your house for you.
Maybe. I don't know how many houses. I don't know. And she's also definitely not mine. I would not pay or can afford that shit. Like, my parents are the ones with the money. So yeah.
Of course, yeah. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's kind of nasty too, man. But like, yeah, that clean space is just kind of nice, especially when like you're with somebody. You know, like you were saying, like how you and your girl got like attuned to each other's bodies. That's for any of the virginal people listening to our podcast. That is very much a real thing, by the way. Not just you get to attune to each other's needs, you get attuned to each other's bodies, and it literally just gets better and better, and also easier to like fuck with your significant other, right? That was me the first time that I had sex with my ex. And I was actually telling this story to my friend. I was hanging out with her for one of the coworkers that I was hanging out with, like just keeping her company because it was like a boring shift, and I was just socializing with my new coworkers for like 6 hours. She was one of the people who just opened up to me about a lot of other stuff, and we were talking about sex for a while. And I told her, and y'all can believe whatever story you want. This is not to gas myself up at all. My ex had only been with one other guy before me. Guy treated her like shit, emotionally manipulated and abused her for a very long time, and the guy was also a shrimp dick. Like, not surprising, you know what I mean? Like, he to the point where she always said, like, she couldn't even, like, feel him or nothing. Before me, he was the only guy she had ever been with. So in a sense, she sort of basically kind of lost her virginity again to me, if that makes any sense. And the reason I say that is because you get attuned to each other's bodies at first, or sometimes when women get, very nervous the first time they're having sex with somebody, or even sometimes, especially the first time they're having sex, if they're a virgin, they'll tighten up, and not in like the good way, the sort of the harder way where it's not easier to get things to go where they need to go. And the reason I say that is because the first time I had sex with her, we basically in one way didn't even really do it because I literally couldn't fit. Like, I literally couldn't even, I could barely get, like, half my dick inside her, and I'm not even joking. Like, it was still very romantic. It was the first time we'd ever been with each other and done all that other different kinds of stuff, but, like, yeah, it took a couple of sessions before we really became attuned to each other, and then she was able to just take me completely, and that was when the sex just got better and better. It's like, that happens the more you have sex with, like, that, like, one person that you've never been with each other before. Your body's literally, like, accustomed to each other. It's kind of a beautiful thing, really, like how, like, all the pieces of a puzzle kind of just get put together like that in one way or another. But, yeah. I mentioned that to this girl that I was working with because, like, she was just opening up to me. Like I say, like, people just open up to me, dude. I don't know why, but they do. I've always been told I'm very trusting. I'm very listening to people. I know.
You got to be careful with that, though, because some crazies will come up to you and then they'll think like, oh, I'll always have this person's ear.
No. I've been there. I can get that sense when that's happening to somebody. Trust me, I know how to shut that shit
Okay,
down.
good.
Don't worry.
Me, you, and my girlfriend, we all had that experience of, like, just, like, because we always seem so easy to kind of, like, just approach and talk to. Maybe not me too much, because I always have, like, a resting bitch face whenever I walk outside. Like, I just always look as if I wake up and choose violence, like, every day. It's like until, like, someone actually, like, talks to me that they realize, like, oh, okay, like, he's not too bad. He just has, like, a permanent scowl on his face forever. And I don't know, it's just like how I've always been, I guess. Like, I'm like not exactly, a moody fuck or anything. It's just mostly like that's just how I am. Like, that's my resting face, I guess. But I've had so many times when people said, like, yeah, you always look so angry, but, like, when I talk to you, you always, like, it's like it's so easy to talk to you, and I'm like, so what the fuck you want me to do about it? Like, what, you want me to smile for you, like, every fucking day? Like, what? Like, not that I get defensive about it. I always fuck with them just because, like, it's because your first instinct when you see someone that has, like, a permanent scowl on their face is like, oh, okay, I don't want to talk to this guy. But, like, when you're like in a social setting, like I've been with, like, parties and whatever, like, and like anyone else has been, like, sometimes, like, when you talk to someone, it just almost feels as if, like, oh, like, the whole, like, don't judge a book by its cover type of thing, like, like, oh, like, wow, he's actually pretty nice, he just looks so angry all the time. And like, my girlfriend even knows, like, I like go on, like, a lot of dumb rants for a lot of shit.
No,
listen, David, you think my rants to you is one thing, but try being in the car with me for an hour and a half listening to me talk about shit that one hasn't even happened to me. I remember it so vividly when my girlfriend told me this. It's like you talk about as if, like, this shit's happened to you, because I was talking about how, like, divorces are real lopsided when it comes to at least in the United States, like, basically, like, women take all your shit and, like, basically just force you to also pay for the child support and all that. And, like, I remember, like, there was one day when, like, I just finished that rant and, like, my girlfriend's like, It's like, why do you let that get to you? Like, you know, like, are you married? Have you been married? Like, you don't have kids, and I'm like, like, I just couldn't drop it, and I was just like, yeah, it doesn't happen, but I think it's like I hate it when that happens, like to other people. Like, it makes me angry. Like shit, like
the epidemic of gold digging whores in this country.
yeah, exactly that. And I remember like I still get mad about plenty of shit. Like that doesn't change. Like I get irrationally angry about a lot of things that like just piss me off. And like, but I think I've definitely maybe just a bit calmed down since I had met my girlfriend, because I remember like so many things, like David, like there would be so many times when like even the smallest thing would just piss me the fuck off. And like, and it could be from even like whatever political issues or whatever. Like, and nowadays it's like I don't even give a fuck if you're left or right. You all are stupid to me, anyways. Because like, you know, everyone's like,
my therapist is the same way.
Like, everyone says the same shit. You guys think you're on the opposite ends of the fucking gymnasium, but everyone says the same bullshit anyway. So it like really just like it makes me feel as if like, why do I care for any of you people? Or like, why do I even care for any of these sides to begin with?
Yeah, like whatever strain you were smoking clearly was not strong enough to the point where you're this fucking angry at a guy tweeting saying, you know, weed smells bad. You know what I mean? Like, whatever shit you're smoking, you need more hits of it. Clearly, that's what I said. I literally said that on Twitter. Like, you need more hits of this shit, because clearly you're not fucking mellowed out enough, or it's just not working.
Or but clearly it's some pretty bad weed.
Yeah,
that's some bad weed.
Those people remind me of like who you're talking about right now. People who just think like they're really making that difference out there, or, you know, screaming about their opinion into the fucking void online, and when in retrospect, a lot of what they're saying are like two sides of the same coin. You know, I've had people tell me like, you know, like, oh, well, I've always said extremists are bad, which they are. Radical people are stupid. And this girl that I was friends with in high school, right? She told me like, oh, well, what if somebody is, you know, radical for, you know, just being really good, like just radical for being really good to people, or like radical, like, or like just radical for like, you know, good
he's
beliefs.
radical.
Like, that's what every fucking radical person thinks they are. That's the thing. That's what they all think they are. They're so fucking strong about whatever their fucking shitty beliefs are that, you know, they don't care to listen to reason about nothing. Like, there are people who are, like, fucking, like, you know, radical about being fucking anti-vax after complaining that there's nothing to do, no way to solve or cure the pandemic or nothing like that. People are fucking stupid. You know,
so I'm
like,
just gonna inject this horse paste into my body.
Yeah, man. Like, can we please stop treating these people? I mean, the more you, like, the more when you peel off band-aids, I don't know, this might be a little bit of a negative take, I guess, but sometimes I find that, I don't know, people find solace in me. They feel like people think I'm wiser than I am a lot of the times for some reason. People like really confide to me about things, and if there's anything that, you know, last night taught me about like my personal life and whatnot, it's that intuitions and beliefs that I've had about certain people are almost always fucking right. And my theories are almost always true, and I'm gonna keep listening to my gut. But call this a negative take, I guess. But sometimes you'll find that you'll be a lot happier sometimes if you peel off certain band-aids. You know you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, if like there are people who still believe that we're gonna eradicate COVID. We're not. That's not gonna happen. At least not in the way that you want it to, of everybody getting the vaccine. I believe that COVID will, you know, like, not be as a problem or as big of a problem one day, and I think it's when all the anti-vaxxers die. And I'm okay with that. You know, my mom thought I was being too harsh when I said that. I'm like, all right, well, they didn't give a fuck about us when, like, you know, we all had to stay inside when there was no fucking vaccine. So why are we letting people who have heart attacks die, not letting them into the fucking hospitals because they need a fucking bed because they took fucking horse dewormer? Dumb fucks. Like, why are we fighting fucking natural selection? Let them fucking die. Fuck, I'm doing it too. Like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting, like, so fucking, no, Dennis, you are rubbing off on me in more ways than one, my friend.
But David, though, like, you'll realize, though, as the older you get, like, there's just a lot of shit out there that, like, why do I give a fuck about it? Like, and I'm not saying this is just to sound cool or whatever, but it's like,
don't give a fuck about so many things, Dennis.
I know, but, like, when I was young and, like, I got like a rise out of everything, and it just like made me like. And the older I got, I just kind of went like, it's like, why did I get mad about? Like, it just felt as if it was a waste of time. Like,
yeah, you had the right strain.
And I'm saying you can develop that too. I think the older you get and the wiser you get, everyone starts to realize like that. Oh, like, you know, why do I give a fuck about that? Like, I have more important shit to worry about, like my bills and my fucking life in general. Like, why do I give a fuck about what some dumbass like out in New York like is protesting about? Like, I gotta feed myself, and like I think people not that I'm saying that like you can't fight for a good cause, and like for me though, like I'm out for me. Like I don't give like not that I'm saying that I don't give a fuck about anyone else, but
you
it's
take
like
care of your own.
Yeah, like for me, like no one's gonna be paying my bills. No one's gonna be like paying for my house. No one's gonna be like paying for my car. No one's gonna be paying for a lot of shit that I own except me.
Yeah, well,
that's my life. And I think, I don't know, like people just seem to have all the time in the world for caring about a lot of dumb shit when clearly I'm pretty sure like most people like that probably have more important shit to do, but like they just, I don't know, are either too chicken shit pussy to kind of like, you know, kind of do something about it, or like they just are bored. And
yeah,
most of these dumbass movements are headed by like really bored, aimless ass white kids.
That is very true. That is very, very true. I've had Twitter fingers before, you know, and I've like been seemingly more mad about stuff that I really am, and that's when I had less going on in my life than anything else, man. It's just the truth, you know. Twitter fingers, they're very much a thing, and it brings out the worst in people. So, I mean, Dennis, you really hit the nail on the head right there when it comes to that. Boredom, very big factor. And trust me, that's what every fucking Smash player is like. There's some new dumb shit trending in the Smash community like every week that has nothing to do with the actual motherfucking game. It's always about like some dumb shit someone said that gets blown up for literally no reason. It's like bad takes were meant to be left in the dust, man. Like they were meant to be left behind, not put on a platform so more people can believe them and so you can fucking virtue signal to make yourself look good. It's like you're accomplishing literally the exact opposite of what you do. Twitter, half of it is literally like pretending that it's like getting this idea of a person in your head, getting very, very, very mad about that person and venting about them and like screaming about them on Twitter about a person that doesn't exist. It's like literally making up a person and getting mad about them. That's half of Twitter, straight up. It's like you think you can get so much out of it. Like I remember that girl that tried to out me as a virgin, right? Like she tried to like literally like be like white male privilege or whatever when she retweeted something I said about, because like her deliberately misinterpreting my tweet, making me think that a woman's cervix was in her ace. It's like, you think that girl wasn't bored as fuck? Clearly she has fucking nothing better to fucking do if she's doing that to someone she doesn't even know. But at the same time, there's also probably some deep-seated reason she's done that. Who knows? That girl could have been raped for all I know, and she has like a very big trauma when it comes to men. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, clearly, from what I've seen, like, she seems like she could be that kind of person. But I don't know. Because you don't actually fucking know anybody through fucking Twitter. You don't. You know, people have shit takes, and sometimes they can be very ignorant, but you don't know the deep-seated, rooted reason why that happens.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks everybody on Twitter either thinks they're a comedian or a psychologist. One or the other.
Or God.
Or God, yes, and also God. There's that one, which I guess in one sense, when you really think about it in the existential sort of way, God is definitely a comedian and a psychologist. When you get right down to him.
And a dickhead. Fuck. No. Dude, like, I'm gonna even say this, like, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for a bit, but, like, I have to say, though, like, I remember, it was so funny, because, like, I remember, it was one of my favorite comedians. He hasn't really done anything too much, because he's fucking old as hell, but, like, he basically said, like, you know, Old Testament God, like, yeah, New Testament God was fucking great. Like, he was real. Like, he was like, you were happy after the sun came out, you know? Like, you know, he was like, yeah, I love everybody. And then he was like, but Old Testament God, he was a prick, bro. Like, this guy was an asshole. Like, he's an asshole.
You can't even be a Christian and be offended at that, because it was very much true. Like, he would send a plague, like, if you pissed on the wrong tree, bro. Like, it's straight up. It's like, why do all these people have to die? They didn't piss on the fucking tree. Leave them alone. Why do they have to get COVID?
My favorite was the story of Abraham.
Oh, that's classic.
That was it was this, like, oh my God, like, just having the rug pulled up from under him. He's like, listen, Abraham, I know you love me, but I need you to prove it. Like, that is the sound of a toxic relationship, isn't it?
That you have to, like, prove it.
Yeah, you have to prove it. And, like, Abraham's like, sure, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. burn your son in a barbecue.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
And like, there's the thing, Abraham.
Yo, JK,
like,
bro, you're the goat. Get it? It's the goat. You get that one?
Like, dude, I
Just
would
walking
be,
down like, what the fuck was that?
Like, I would not be surprised if there was a version of the Bible where Abraham actually legitimately gets pissed off at God because he told him, like, hey, like, it's like, JK, bro, like, I was just joking. It was, like, it sounds like those prank channels off of YouTube. Like, God was like, it's just a prank, bro. It's just, it's just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. It's just a prank. Just
Like,
a prank,
that's
bro.
basically what that whole story is. It's like, oh, yo, dude, or even maybe there was another version where God was like, oh, yo, I didn't think you were actually gonna do it. Like, no, dude, I was just playing. Like, or like, even Noah's Ark, that whole story just makes me like laugh so much because it's just God was so pissed off at humanity in general that he's like, I'm gonna wipe the fucking slate clean of you motherfuckers because you guys just won't listen, so I might as well just fucking kill all of you with a massive flood. And for all of you who still believe in me, or at least even I think the way he said it was like, those of you who still follow me, collect 2 of each animal, build a shitty ass boat, and you're gonna be in there for a while, just letting you know. So
that's another reason that TF2 is a fucking amazing game, man. You remember Meet the Soldier?
Oh, yeah.
And then he herded 2 of every animal on Earth, and then he herded them onto a boat, and he beat the crap out of every single one. And
Sun Tzu said that.
Sun Tzu said that. And I think he knows a little bit more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it. And then he perfected it so that no living man could best him in the Ring of Honor. And that is why when any group of animals are together in one place, it's called a zoo. Unless it's a farm. Fucking
But
goat.
yes.
Rest in peace, Rick May. He died of COVID at the beginning of the pandemic, if you remember.
That is true. That is true. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And
he was very old, at least, but at the same time, not a pleasant,
he was like,
not a pleasant way to go out. So
he was pushing 60, wasn't he? He was pretty old. Like,
older.
old.
I think he was like bordering his 80s. He was very
Fuck's
old.
sake.
Let me look it up actually. Yeah, hold
Rest
up.
in peace. But yeah, guys, just to wrap it up, I think I don't know, like, Christians will kind of go crazy on me.
Yeah, he was 80.
Oh fuck, like 80, like on the to the T.
79 when he died. Yeah.
Fuck, god damn, right before 80. Shit. Rest in peace. But like when we wrote the Bible, right? I don't know if it was one guy writing it or if it was multiple guys writing it, but here's the fact: like, the Bible is a man-made fucking product. It's a fucking book. Like it's not. It wasn't written by Jesus. Like, it was written by some poor fuck who just had overtime all the time because he couldn't leave the fucking church because they told him, "Hey, we're gonna write a book about God, and you writing it." And this guy was like, do I at least get paid over? Like, bro, what? Like, dude, this is the 600s. You ain't getting paid shit.
What is money?
Like, because writing all this shit was always left up to, like, the Catholic monks. Because, like, these were, like, I don't know. Like, no, apparently it was, like, nobody else could write shit except these guys. So it's like, you know, I'm imagining, like, you know, the Pope or whoever was just like, okay, we need to write a book about God. And we want you to commission it and write it. And the guy was like, all right. So he wrote up the first draft, probably gave it to a cardinal or whatever, and the cardinal was like crossing shit out, like, no, can't write. Nope, no. Can't keep that in. And it's just like all the stuff that he crossed out is like all the times like God is like actually overtly an asshole, but like they have to make sure, they always have to, like, you know, make sure like, oh, there's like a mystical reason why he's an asshole.
Gotta do some PR.
gotta do some PR repair, like, thing when it comes to, like, you know, God and all that. And again, here's the thing though too. The Old Testament was the book of the Jews. The fucking New Testament is the actual Christian book. It's Christianity's book. And of course they're gonna fucking write God to be a forgiving, loving hippie who just like God really apparently, like, it was so funny the way this comedian said, like, God really calmed down when he had the son, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh, like, it's like, oh, wrath and ruin and plague. But as soon as the sun comes out, it's like, oh, guys, like, my followers, my disciples, I love you.
It's like one of my favorite lines from Archer, bro. It's like Ray's talking to Lana. He's like, I don't know. My church wasn't really too big on the New Testament. She's like, the New Testament, yeah. The one with Jesus Christ in it. Yeah, is that a problem? Oh, Lord. Literally, Lord. Yeah, that's why a lot of our generation, at least the ones who still have any semblance of religion left in them, they say they love God, but they hate religion. You know, or at least what that guy said. And that's a philosophy that I very much love, because the idea of God as like a spiritual thing is like, that makes you feel that oneness with the world, or that, you know, like any security and belief that there is an afterlife or some greater thing above us, which I feel like most of the time I definitely believe that there is, whether you believe that's God in like the traditional sense or some other
or like
thing,
some higher being,
or just like, some higher being, or a very much a natural order of things. But religion was invented by man.
Yeah,
like a strict set of rules is something completely different, and if you can't disassociate the two, well, you're just as dumb as a pot smoker who thinks that, you know, saying that weed smells bad it means that you're a bad person for smoking weed, in which case you should also smoke a much heavier strain of pot because you're not mellow enough.
And David, can I just say something too? You know, like, the Pope. He is apparently God's...
No, never heard of him.
God's human representative on Earth.
Yes.
Like, he's supposed to be, like, the supreme authority of Christianity, right?
Yes.
And you know how, like, everyone always says, like, oh, he was appointed by God. The Pope. He was appointed by God. No. The Pope was appointed by a bunch of old fucks in a goddamn room who had to fucking put in little pieces of paper in a shitty-ass box and be like, oh, yeah, we want this guy to be a Pope.
Who are also probably kid touchers.
Yeah. Well, you got to graduate from kid toucher to, like, people toucher, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's like, oh, you go from kids, now we're just going to touch all the people. We're going to touch them all funny. But yeah, even, like,
slam my penis in the car door.
Like, even... fucking like as David said, like, Christianity itself is all, like, the whole religion was all made by a man. It was all made by men. And it's just so funny though, considering, like, everyone just says, like, oh yeah, the Pope's supposed to be God's representative. Like, if he was God's representative, why did it need guys to put little shits in ballots to pick him?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just sit in a room and just wait till God said something or whatever?
Yeah, you know, the foundation of religion is, you know, love and salvation and whatnot, but then when it's a gay person, they're like, no, not like that, even though it's how you naturally feel about, you know, people. No, not like that, you're doing it wrong. It's like, that's I feel like gay rights and stuff is like the fundamental example of why a lot of people don't care about or believe in, or they're really, like, they can't disassociate God from religion, so, like, they don't believe in God, even though they might actually believe in a higher power, just because they hate Christianity so much and stuff. And that's, like, one of the biggest things right there that, you know, the biggest hypocrisies of the Catholic Church is that they have a problem with gay people and whatnot. It's, like, literally the worst thing that they ever could have done for themselves. And not that many other religions are typically all that different, or at least, like, the big ones, I should say, but, you know, it's, that's a whole thing. When it comes to reforming it, that's a whole different discussion that you can't fit in these kicks.
And again, like, I'm not saying like all Christians are, like, terrible people. Like, I've met some great, like, people who, like, believed in God and, like, just for Christians in general, and, like, I don't take nothing away from them. And not to mention, like, some people literally do find salvation in God, and I don't take that away from them either, because some people are just in such terrible circumstances that, like, the only bit of salvation that they could find is, like, through God. And I'm not saying God as if, like, you know, like, I fully acknowledge that he exists. I fully acknowledge that there is something bigger than ourselves out there that apparently just is too good for us and just won't fucking reveal himself or whatever, because, like, you know, I need shit to see to make me believe. Like, I need shit to see, like, to make me believe in things.
Boy.
Like if there was a big sky daddy up there, like, and if he, like, actually, like, did, like, you know, knows what's going on down here, and if I know that he knows that, like, oh, like there's a lot of horrific shit going on here, but I'm not going to intervene because that's not my problem. I'd be like, this is the reason why that most of like young people my age like are not exactly the religious types, period, because of the fact that like we literally go on like visuals. And it sounds kind of makes us sound a little retarded, but like, you know, we literally go off of stuff that we see and witness. Because, you know, that's how TikToks and all that shit go on. Like, and especially even viral videos. And, you know, whenever like something terrible happens, like a car accident, everyone brings out their fucking phones and has to like record like all the shit like going on. It's like, oh my God, look at all the blood on the street and all that stuff. And like, we're very visual people. And I don't know what it, I even don't believe most of the stories like in the Old Testament. Not because they're like, oh, like, you know, God or whatever, but it's like, you know, these were people that were in the fucking desert all goddamn day without air conditioning. Like, I'd be hallucinating out of my fucking mind if I was in the desert all goddamn day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck they believe they saw, but it's like, I don't know, like, was it room temperature when you saw it? Like, or was it like 120 degrees and you were sweating out of your fucking balls because it was so goddamn hot? And, David, I don't know if you ever had a heat stroke. I had it once. And I literally saw like shit that I didn't think I could ever see in my life. And I would never want to have another heat stroke in my life again. And like it must be like heat strokes must be like another form of marijuana or something, because like you just go like whoa, and then you just like basically pass out and like perhaps don't even wake up because the heat probably killed your brain.
I don't understand why people strive to feel like that.
Because the real world is scary and mean, which is true.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the reason why people go from you. Yeah, it's the reason why people go beyond weed to like heroin and shit. Yeah, or even, you know, just good old opioids.
The ones who, you know, just gave up on themselves before, you know, fighting it. You know, I mean, as good old Rocky says, you know, life ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit.
No, it's not how hard you could hit. It's about...
I bet you, if I could change, you could change. You could change. If I could change.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, man, I thought that was fucking and ridiculously inspirational when he said that, because I'm like, fuck if that's not true. I mean,
Rocky Balboa, that movie was actually, I know a lot of people said it was really boring. Because it wasn't like Rocky 4 and shit. Like, it wasn't just all
literally
like boxing,
about like his post like career life and shit.
And I thought that was also like a, you know, obviously a metaphor to like how a lot of people Rocky's age would feel with like their life in terms of what they accomplished and all that. Because you kind of look back a lot when you're the older you get, and kind of like just kind of take a moment of reflection to see like, you know, what you've done up to that point. And I mean, for him, he lost his wife. Lost basically the most important person in his life, really. Yeah. And he started to feel lost a little bit, and it just tackles a lot of like real world stuff like that I thought was missing in a lot of the later Rocky movies, because the first one and the Rocky Balboa, I'm just gonna call Rocky 6, those two like
they're the best of the franchise.
Yeah, really, because it like really just goes deep into like a lot of human things, and I think the second one does too. But it's like very much like the rematch between him and Apollo is like the main center point, because there's like their motivations are kind of like a bit different, you know, obviously, because like Apollo like wants to prove that like, oh, I didn't just win on a technicality, I could actually beat this guy, like, you know, fair and square, like no matter what. Because the first match they had was just kind of like, I think it was just a friendly exhibition, wasn't it? It wasn't exactly a title match. Like Rocky just came up and said like, I want to fight the champ, and Apollo just couldn't knock him down, or at the very least like Rocky just refused to go down.
Yeah, movie wasn't necessarily about winning. It was just proving that this guy could go the distance.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. It's just proving that this guy could even get that far, while at the same time having realistic expectations for where you were at. It's like the movie inspires you so much to chase your dreams and follow your dreams, but it doesn't get you close enough to the point where you're going to burn your wings in the sun. You know what I mean? Like, literally, right? Like, and that's the twist of the movie. It's like, it's not like, oh, he did it, and he beat the guy at the end, and the hero wins. It's like, no. Literally, like, right before, like, the big fight scene, is Rocky just, like, coming back in the middle of the night back home to Adrian. He's just like, I can't do it. It's like, I can't beat this guy. I'm not ready. It's like he's acknowledging the fact that he's not ready, but he still does it, and he still powers through, like, just being brave enough to even try. And then that's sort of what Rocky 2 is about. It's just like, no, this guy barely beat me. I need to fuck him up, and then that's how he becomes the champion. And the Rocky movies just gradually get worse. Even though like the first three are all still great. Four is decent. It's good for like one.
Four
watch.
is four is great if you turn off your brain.
Yeah,
Like,
four is great if you turn off your brain.
It's just so funny.
Five, I'm not gonna lie, I've never even fully seen, and I don't even have the biggest
Don't watch it.
intention
You don't need
to.
to watch
It's
it.
like not a good film. It does
Yeah.
explain one thing as to why Rocky lives back in the Philly slums again, besides the fact that it's his hometown. It's because Paulie fucking gambled all his money away. And yeah, it's
right.
Yeah, that's how that happened. And now obviously you have the Creed movies, which are really good. But yeah, Rocky hits those nails on the head, man. Those are really. If you haven't seen the original Rocky, it's a fucking phenomenal film. Please,
Go watch it.
There's a reason
Yeah.
it's as considered as classic as it is, and Rocky Balboa is also an incredible one that, you know, Loki even does a lot of things better than the first movie does. But yeah, no, those movies were really inspirational, despite Sylvester Stallone pretty much basing them off of that Jersey boxer's life without his permission.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And it's really funny too, because like, you know, Philly has a whole fucking statue of Rocky. This is the reason why Philly is nothing. And like,
yeah, it's fucked up because Rocky Balboa is in like the Boxing Hall of Fame, but the actual boxer that he's based off of isn't. Like that's kind of fucked up. I mean,
it is fucked up. And,
yeah.
like this is like one of the okay, we're gonna go on to another fucking
Yeah,
it's
okay,
but yeah,
even,
watch
like,
Rocky's
in
1 to 3, 1 to 3, 6, and watch the Creed movies because they're all great. And
even
I think
in fucking yeah, actually, you should probably, if you're gonna watch the Creed movies, you should also watch Rocky 4.
oh yeah, that is true. That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that is right. So watch 1 to 3, tolerate 4.
Tolerate 4.
Watch 1 to 3, turn off your brain for 4, and then skip 5, go to 6, and then watch the Creed movies.
Yeah, get high to watch 4.
No, it's kind of nuts.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Whatever he punch, he destroy.
if he dies, he dies.
I must break you.
Yeah, even in Rocky 6 deals with really real themes. You remember like when Paulie gets fired
Oh, right.
after being with that company for God fucking knows how long.
They just let him go like that.
Like that. That job, that movie teaches you the lesson. Fall in love with the job. Never fall in love with the company.
Exactly.
Ever.
Company loyalty is dead. Don't even let
that
anyone
movie
else tell you.
Oh my God, that movie was so fucking real. That's what Rocky 6 was.
Yeah.
That movie was fucking real. That's really what it was, bro. And I loved it. It really inspires some hope.
I
I
might rewatch it tonight just because
Word.
like it definitely is don't.
When is David, Dennis, and Dennis's girlfriend David third wheel movie night happening?
Maybe soon. We gotta pick out a movie.
Word.
But
Okay,
yeah,
we're done.
So Rocky 6, bit slow, but I think the dialogue and the script is what carries the movie really. Like just the script itself is just so fucking solid.
Yeah.
And it again, it deals with a lot of very human things that go even beyond just being
Wait,
that's a bit deep.
Wait,
It's a bit meta, really.
Wait a minute, hold up. Duke's
Hazard?
speech from Rocky Balboa. I'm not gonna look up the video because I'm gonna read it because obviously we're on the podcast. But you know, remember when they're talking about like they're fucking talking about like, you know, how like Rocky's gonna beat this young boxer that's, you know, the new champion out here, even though like he's old and retired. I hold on a second. Please tell me like the actual script is written somewhere. Please tell me someone wrote it in like the comments or anything.
I think you could actually find screenplays online.
It's just yeah. I don't want to go through the whole thing to find it though. I need to read it because out of context, it's so fucking funny. It is so fucking unbelievably funny. Hold on a second, please. Please tell me it's like. Please tell me someone wrote it in here. No, nobody wrote it there. Damn it. Yeah, he's like, like he just starts it like this because he's basically like, the Duke is like Rocky's coach. He was Apollo's coach, you know, before he died and stuff. And he's like, to beat this guy, you need speed. You don't have any. To beat this guy, you're gonna need light feet. You don't have it. Like, he's just listing off all the shit that Rocky can't do anymore because he's too old.
Oh,
and then he's like, so what we're gonna be calling upon is good old-fashioned blunt force trauma. I'm talking giant hammer-down, pile-drive punches that'll make his grandkids hurt. And then he cracks his neck, and it's like, oh, fuck. But just the beginning of it is so fucking funny, bro. It's like, to beat this guy, you need speed. You don't have it.
This is like if Smash players had coaches. It's like, to beat this guy, you need combos. You don't have any. Because you play Bowser.
It's like, your joints are hurting. You got arthritis in your neck. Like, he's listing all this shit, and then Paulie's just like, yeah, I have that. And the best part is Rocky's reaction. It's like, it's another reason that movie hits. It's like, it promotes such a healthy mentality, because he's just nodding his head. He's not getting upset about it. It's just like, yeah, listen to your coach. Like, these people are here to help you. If it sounds like they're roasting you or they're being mean to you, trust me, they're doing it because they care. And Rocky's literally just nodding and smiling the whole time. He's like, yeah, I'm old as fuck. He's just like, I love that scene. Is incredible, man. Every time you hit him with a shot, it's gonna feel like he tried kissing the express train. And he just fucking, and then he just like fucking like cracks his neck like in front of him. Let's start building some hurting bombs. God, I love that movie.
Love this movie. And guys, we're gonna wrap it up for today. It was a pretty good one.
It was a little chill episode today, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it was a bit slow, like thing in the beginning, but definitely picked up a bit, and I liked where it kind of went.
That's why I choose you, Dennis. We can both neither have no topics to talk about, but we find a way. We do it. Smegma cheeseburger.
You're gonna need topics. We don't have any. You want to have a podcast? You need charisma. You don't have any.
To do this podcast, you're gonna need better recording equipment. You don't have it. To get more listeners for your podcast, you're gonna need some high quality, high profile guests. You don't have any. So what we're gonna be relying on is good old-fashioned ratchet fuck talk. We're talking nonsensical, dumbass topics that are gonna drown your listeners' heads with such noise, liquid litigation that their grandkids are gonna inherit the stupidity.
That cracks neck.
Cracks neck.
Let's get started.
Let's start ignoring facts. And with that, folks, we are done. We hope you enjoyed the Double D experience today and provided it to you in the greatest experience we possibly could have. No topics and just fucking around. That's what the Double D experience is. And if you have a problem with that, again, please hit a bigger strain of weed. This is the 4th time I've said this in this fucking podcast. Clearly what you're smoking is not strong enough if you're still this much of a little bitch, getting offended by everything. Just take another hit. Just take another hit, bro. Just relax.
David, I actually want some of these like weed to actually like come to like the video and comment, just so like that'll like generate buzz. I actually want you guys to like come here and like fucking comment.
Let's see what we title the video. We could just be like, well, fuck weed or whatever. I don't know.
Weed is for
That'll bring him in. That's the kind of attention I want.
It'd just be like F at the @ sign and then GG and then 0 TS. Like weed or is for
Shut the fuck up. We're done. We hope you guys enjoyed. As your friendly reminder, here is this plug. I, David, am on Fiverr now. You can hire me for voice work, whether it is for your narration, your commercial project, your promo project, your animation project, whether it's cartoon or video games.
Your OnlyFans video.
Yeah, not doing that part.
Oh shit. My drawers fell.
My lord. start. You can hire me for a very cheap and reasonable price, and I will get your recording to you in a cheap and timely manner as well. I got about a 3-day response time on there, and I'm definitely trying to build up my resume and repertoire right now. So if you want to help me with that, I will work on your project for cheap. I also offer some other services such as time syncing the stuff together, adding copyright-free and royalty-free music into your project and whatnot. I offer a lot of services on there for additional prices and whatnot. So if you want to take a look at what I have to offer and listen to the demo reels I have right there, that really would mean the absolute world to me. So if you could do that, that's going to be down the description below. And as I'm saying that, I just realized I forgot to put in the description of last week's video. I've really been working my ass off a little too hard these last couple of days. I forgot to even tweet about it on my main account for a couple of days. That's no good. And yeah, that would really mean the world to me if you did that. Dennis, all the links, please tell him about it.
Oh wait, fuck.
Good job.
Not Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I hate Twitter. All the podcast affiliate links we got as well. Yeah, bye guys.
We have our Instagram, the Double D Experience 21, Twitter at Double D Pod. You can listen to us on whatever your favorite platform is. Please leave us a good review on Apple Podcasts if you can. That helps a lot to us. And yeah, let us know any questions that you guys has for us. If you have any topics specifically that you guys want us to talk about, any questions for either of us. Again, we're fucking stupid on this show. Nothing's off limits. Like, literally ask us anything. We don't care. Like, it'd be like, whatever it is will be hype. And yeah, well, we'll try to answer that to the best of our ability. If you have any specific guests that you have an idea on as to who you'd want on the show, like, definitely lay that on us as well. Whatever it is, keep them interactions, As a matter of fact, I'm going to read this recent comment that we had on last week's episode. What did this say? Yeah, Croco Grabs. From what I've seen, yes, Sierra Burgess is apparently a modern adaptation of a play called Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah.
Difference being the characters' genders being reversed. So yeah, you're a real one, Croco Grabs. Croco Gabs. I hope you.
Croco grabs his dick.
I hope you've gabbed with some really good crocodiles recently. I bet they make good company.
I hope you grab some croco crotches.
If that's what you're into.
Yeah, if that's what you're into. Do you think crocodiles got dicks?
The male saltwater crocodile, like the American alligator, also keeps its penis erect but tucked inside its body. Kelly,
Lights off,
Kelly,
fellas.
we're done. Bye.